Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Behind the Tools. This is a series where I go behind your most popular and favorite tools, tools that I've personally used in my business or I use in clients' business. I've been around the tech world for a very long time and I've come across many tools, and now I'm going to show you how it is behind the tools, right? What makes these softwares, these tools work very well? What are they good at? What are they not good at? Right? Some of these I will give recommendations just because it's my personal favorite, but just because it's my personal favorite may not mean it's yours. And that's what I'm here to do, is to help you make a solid decision for yourself. So today we are going to talk about the big house powerhouse of automations, Keap. It used to be called Infusionsoft as well. So if you hear me reference it, that's why, but it's Keap. And Keep to me has really meant a lot to my business. That's how I got started. I didn't even know this world existed. Heck, I didn't even know you can really, like, online marketing was even a thing many years ago. And pretty much I just got introduced to this. And this is what really helped me to see, like, wow, there's a lot of stuff I can do with this. I can really grow in this. And here I am today, right? I started off as a tech VA in the back end, just helping people with anything. Um, Anything tech related, right? You need a website built, a membership site, any anything pretty much, I was there. But now, my business has grown and evolved, and this is why I want to talk about the power of automations, right? Because when you first start, it's just you. It's just you. You're not necessarily looking for automations per se. You're like, I'm just trying to get in, I'm trying to get things done, right? Whatever that is. But as you grow, and your practice, your coaching business gets busier, it's like, okay, I need to change this, right? Like, I don't have the same amount of time, because you can easily, I mean, how many entrepreneurs know this, right? They talk about this. Oh, entrepreneurs will give up a 40-hour work week to work 60 to 80 hours a week. Been there, done that many times over, right? And now I'm like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. But that's another story we will share for another time. So today, if you're looking and you're just starting out and you're like, hey, I just kind of want to just send emails out, then like Keep. And one thing that I like about Keep, let me come back, is they have different levels and different tiers. When they first started, way back in the day, you needed a consultant. It was a little difficult to understand. Not everyone could wrap their head around it. I was just happened to be one of those people where it just clicked for me. I can understand, like, Infusionsoft has a mind of its own, and I can understand the mind that it is. And I think that's part of why I was really successful, and why I am successful, is just because I can understand how the pieces work together. Anyway, on another side note of that, we're just gonna kind of get into it. They have, like I said, if you're just trying to get started and you just want to do emails, Keep may not be the best option for you. They do have a light plan, right, where it's just pretty much for that. People who just want to send emails, that's it. They've changed their interface, right? They have Keep, and then they have, I'm the old school. I use the Keep Max Classic, and that's my favorite one because that is the power of automations. That is the powerhouse, the big boy. I really love it because, a lot of times people think, oh, CRMs, I just want to send emails. And if that's all you want to do, that's fine. But you can do things like create business processes. You can build sales pipelines, which are fun to build for me. You can have onboarding processes, right? Like, as my business is expanding, I am now automating when I bring on a new client, what's going to happen, get their contract signed, get the invoices sent, right? I'm trying to get welcome emails, get that kind of stuff automated, because before I have to manually do it, right? I have to create the proposals and create the contracts and make sure they get it signed and do all this stuff. And now I'm actually middle of the process of doing this for myself, even though I've done this for clients plenty of times. But all right, let's get into it. We're going to go into Campaign Builder. I'm going to show you in the back end of it. And really, that's the Big Daddy Mac. That is the best. So let me go ahead and change this. Give me a second. See if it's going to let me change it. Okay, it's not. That's all right. We're going to do it this way. So this is, I am a Keep partner. So as a partner, um, I get I get a sandbox account. That's what this is. That's why there's nothing in here. But even though I'm a partner, I actually am a Keap customer myself. I've been paying for this automation tool, and I would have to say, truth be told, I have been using it as a email. But now I'm actually stepping it up. Like I said, I'm going to do client contracts and onboarding for myself. And another thing that I really like about Campaign Builder that you can do too, I mean, it's just so much more than sending emails, right? It's like membership management and then behavior-based marketing, which is so crucial and so essential, right? If you're just sending something that's generic to everybody, like people are smart. Nowadays, they know that's not enough. Nowadays, they know like you need to have that personalization. Gone are the days where you could say, hi, first name, right? Like everyone knows there's a tool that's doing it. But there's another thing that, is a difference between hi, first name and hi, um, I see you looked at this page. And you know what? Not even to talk about that because that sounds creepy. But let's say you send someone to a page, but they don't buy, right? So instead of saying, oh, I know you looked at the page, that's a great time to address an objection that they may have, right? But you wouldn't have known to do that if you weren't tracking that. So we're just going to get right into it. Let me stop blabbering. So this is the dashboard that you see of Infusion or Keep, excuse me, when you first log in. And we're going to go to Campaign Builder. We can go deep into the other stuff. I have demo campaigns they've given me, things I've tested from myself, all kinds of things. So we're just going to do a test right here. And the purpose of this is I just want to show you the power that you can do. And I feel like what's the best way to do it than to go ahead and show you what each of these can do and how they can really be helpful for you in your business. So I'm going to create a new category. I'll just put test, test and test. Okay, so these are the sequences. So these, how you look at this in Infusionsoft is these are goals. So these are things that start automations and can end automations. And the sequences, so if you want to look at it like a sandwich, right? Goals are what's on the outside, and then the sequences is the meat. If it's a burger, it's the burger. If you like a vegan burger, if you want sandwich meat, whatever it is, the stuff on the inside, that's what the sequences are. And we'll get to that in a little bit too, but I'd rather just start with the goals. So the most common one is the web form that's submitted. Okay, web forms are really simple. But what I love about web forms is you can use that for a couple of reasons. Let's say you don't want to use an Infusionsoft landing page, but you want to capture the information so it can go directly to Infusionsoft. You would use this. The downside of this is like the formatting isn't that great. Like you have to be kind of like a developer and know what you're doing with that in order for you to feel comfortable with restyling it. So that's a downfall. Landing pages. Landing pages are great. Like if you are actually, that's something a lot of CRMs are starting to do in general. When I was starting many years ago, they didn't have this. You had to buy these separate software tools and connect them all together. So I think the plus side is it's great that these are offering that. The downfall is, when you're trying to do too many things at once, it's harder to be good at everything, right? Like it's just harder to do that. Like they give you certain templates, it's just not as easy to create. It's not as easy for the average coach who doesn't have a lot of tech experience to come in and create it. They're going to feel frustrated. And I know this because I've talked to many coaches that try to create a landing page in here and by themselves and, try to provide some guidance. And they were just like, it's really frustrating. So that's just sharing some feedback that I've seen. Tag applied is probably the most popular thing, period, right? Tags are really what are like the driving force of a lot of the automations because you can add tags when they click on things. You can add tags if they open things. Like there's just a lot of ways you can apply tags. The only thing that I would recommend is tags can get really messy really quickly. There can be a lot of stuff here and you're like, I don't know how to find the tags. So naming conventions is going to be very important just so you can keep this in order because this can definitely get out of hand very, very quick. Email linked clicked. I like this too because again, before before some of this stuff was created, you had to create workarounds, which was in the email, you had to create it, it'll apply a tag there, and then that would pull them out. So it's nice that now it's when an email is clicked, you could select the email from a campaign. This obviously has to be after, it can't be before. And when you click this, it's going to show you, hey, these are the emails that are connected in this sequence. Select which ones you want this to trigger, right? So that's really cool. I really like that you can just automatically do that. Email opened. I actually like this one as well because before you had to do something different. You had to manually do this. I love that now it's going to track, hey, you opened this email. So since you open this email, right, I can pull you out of the rest of this sequence and put you in another one, right? That's how sequences and goals work, which I'll show some examples in a little bit, but right now I'm just trying to explain which each one of these do, so then you can go ahead and feel comfortable with connecting these together and what goes inside the sequences. Okay, purchase product is another popular one. If you are using Infusionsoft as your payment gateway, as you're receiving payments from, you have order forms and stuff like that. You can set it up that as soon as a product is purchased, you can trigger actions and behaviors based off of that. This is a new one, fail purchase campaign, which is really helpful with membership management. Actually, that's a note to myself. I need to add that with myself too to make sure I have that as part of my membership management. 1 second. I'm literally writing this down so I don't forget to make sure that, if there's a failed purchase, we don't have anything for it, but you can set up the failed purchase goal. Obviously, you have to have a product in Infusionsoft in order for it to do it. If you don't have it, then it's not going to be applicable, but you can use it this way, right? Because before we had to go through billing automations, and if a failed purchase happened there, then we had to, set up actions that way. It's just nice that I can go now to Campaign Builder and set it up here instead of going there. Um, Another thing is a quote status, right? If you want to use Infusionsoft to send out quotes, you can use this. It'll let you know, right, when an action was sent, viewed, declined, accepted, and paid, which is nice. Again, that's a part of that automation tool, right? As your business grows, you really want to try to get a lot of the mundane, simple things that you do because, yeah, it's like, oh, it takes me 30 minutes. But as your business, if 30 minutes to do one, well, if you have 5 clients, right, that's like almost 4 hours. And trust me, 4 hours is a lot of time. You don't want to be doing that, spending on that. You want to be doing it on other things. And actually, my math may have been wrong, like 2 hours. Sorry, but you know what I'm trying to say. The quote status, right? You want to automate things as much as possible. So if I know they viewed it, but they didn't do anything, hey, I can send an email that sends them a nudge, right? Or they paid, great, welcome. Right? You see how the messages are different based on the actions? That's what I really love about Keap. It allows you to do that. Okay, web page automation is actually something I like a lot too. What I like about this is you can trigger actions based on someone that visits. So let's say someone visit a page. This is great for like abandoned cart, right? They visit a page, we're going to apply a tag. If we're going to give it some time, if they don't buy or they don't take action or opt in, whatever it is, I can send a follow up. And you can do this for so many other things as well. It's just, especially on certain pages that you have, you're like, I want to make sure that once they visit this, you know, they visit this page, I want to encourage them to take action. And this is a great way to do that. I really love using this. All right, internal form submitted. I like using this. So this is internal form. This is a form that is for, well, let me just get out of here. This is a form for mostly where I see the best time to use this is like for the sales process, right? If you're someone that has a sales team and a sales pipeline that's in here, you want to have internal notes that only users of an Infusionsoft account or Keap account can able to see, right? So I go to a contact, I have this form, I want to add a note. I add my note to that. The only way anybody can see that is if they're able to log into Infusionsoft and look at that contact with that internal form. So that's why it's really good. Like there are notes and you can add notes to that, but sometimes it's just easier to give them the link to the form and they can just do it there. All right, a task complete. You can give yourself, you can set up task, especially in this we'll get here in the sequence part. There's more things you can do inside of here. But once a task is complete, see there's is not attached to it. Once a task is complete, you can trigger more actions. Okay. Opportunity stage move. It's commonly used for sales pipelines, but it doesn't have to be. Anything where you have a process that's like, when someone does this, this is the next thing that needs to do, and I need to track how many people are in each stage. That's where this comes up. And I really like this feature. Let's see if it has it. Yeah, you can say into or out of a stage, which you have to set up, right? And you can set up any stage that you want. It doesn't have to be what they give you. It's just what makes sense for you and your business. When a note is applied, this is another good one too. It's like, hey, when a note is applied, here's an action. This is what we need to do. That's pretty much what this is. It's like if a note gets applied to a contact, we're going to add some information. We're going to trigger some things. That's pretty much it. Lead score achieve is another good one because it's like, hey, if they increase to whatever these flames, let's pull them out of here and put them in another sequence that's more targeted, right? These are hot. They're hot. And I want to go ahead and reward them for that. So that's what this means, right? I want to have actions based off of that. APIs. APIs are if you need to connect it. You need Infusionsoft to talk to another source, right? Something else, and you have to set up the call name and the API so they can talk to each other. So then that could trigger actions. That's where you can use this. So depending on like your membership site that you use, any other third-party software that you want to communicate, this is where this will come in. And this is a WordPress opt-in. You have to connect, yeah, you have to have the WordPress Infusionsoft plugin, put it on WordPress, and then have the opt-in form. So they're going to say, hey, when this opt-in form is, we're going to put this opt-in form on to be able to use on a WordPress site. So that's where this web form is going to kick in. Landing page submitted. Once a landing page is submitted, all right, let's take them out and put them through another action. The only other thing here are notes, and notes is just for you to type any internal notes that no one will see. Okay, that's all this is. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it. All right, so I mean, take a look at all of this. Does your CRM really have these things? Do your CRM allow you, even if you only use half of this, which you can easily do, is it worth it? Is it worth it? You have to ask yourself that question. So email confirmation is just, you can't really edit a whole lot of this. This is right once they opt in, I want them to confirm their email, which is good for your deliverability. Especially nowadays, recently deliverability has been really wonky. So it's good to make sure that you are doing an email confirmation. You don't have to. It's not going to change. It just helps. It just makes it better, right? But it's not going to hurt you if you don't do it. But I definitely would recommend to have it. Yes, your number of leads may go down, but but it increases the quality, right? If someone can't take 2 seconds to opt in, to confirm, they're probably not going to be ideal for your business anyway. All right, so for the sequences, we're going to dive in. There's a lot of stuff as well, but I'm just going to keep going through it. And this can't, I'm going to take a pause break. And this is why Keap is the Mac Daddy when it comes to automations. I mean, what I just showed you on the previous page are the triggers, the things that can start the automations and things that can pull people out of sequences to go in another sequence or do something else. Okay, so let's switch it back over. And now we're going to go to what happens inside of a sequence. This is where you can have the delay timers. You can have timers by delay, date, or field. field timers are really cool, especially if you like for a birthday, you want to set up a birthday campaign. You can do it right inside of here. Communications, I mean, email messages, the common thing, especially nowadays, most of us are online. How many people do fax? How many people own a fax machine? Like, really? You don't really see it. You're going to send an email before you send a fax. You're going to scan and attach it to an email before you fax. And then the handprint letter again, email mostly does that, but this is good though if you want to have like direct mail campaigns and you again, you're getting to the stage where you want to automate that. You don't want to just have to do custom fields for a bunch of people on your list, right? I'm just going to put an example. You have 200 people on your list and you want to send a handmade letter to them, right? But you don't only just want to do their first name, you want to do based on certain tags that they have to show this. That's where this can be helpful, right? Anytime it's a large number, this is where these tools can kick in. Okay. And I'll have another behind the tools where I go a little deeper, especially about the email functionalities. I think that's going to be important. So then the process, right? You can apply and remove a tag inside of a sequence, which is powerful because really besides the note, the tags are the only other things that you can, and this notes thing are the only other things that you can have inside and outside of a sequence. So that's why I said you really have to be careful when it comes to tags because it can be a lot. Okay. So just make sure you are aware of that. Just make sure your naming convention makes sense and you're having a tag that you're actually using. All right, and you can apply a note. This is applying a note to a client contact. You can create a task for yourself if you want to create a task. If you saw in the other one as a goal, once the task is complete, it can take them out of the sequence. Create an appointment. If you want to have people set an appointment with you, right, you can do it here. Set a field value, which I like to use too, especially for like membership sites. But there's definitely other things you can use it with. That's just one of the common ways I can see that. Assigning an owner, again, majority of the times are the sales pipeline, but it also depends on your business too, right? Let's say um, a client welcome for onboarding and you're at the stage now where you can't do certain things anymore, but you have people to help you. Well, I'm going to assign an owner that, hey, once the contract is signed, I'm going to assign it to Susie to make sure that they got the welcome email and they mail out the package that they're going to receive, right? Like there's literally endless possibilities and endless ways you can use this. So I'm going to try not to get too deep into here as I know I've been talking a lot, but this is just me. I like to just show you the back end. I like to tell you the truth so that you can make an informed decision from there. Create an opportunity. You can create opportunities as well. Fulfillment list. I mean, create an order. Like it's just so many things. Cancel a subscription, which is new. You used to not be able to do that. Not with here, but of course you have to have Infusionsoft product for both of those to work. Send HTTP post is a little different than an API. Um, a lot of times this is used for like membership sites. They have to be able to integrate with Infusionsoft for this to work, but you can send an HTTP post and it's just saying, hey, this contact came in here. I want to send it to, Access Ally or whatever so that they can go ahead and get it that way. So, and send this information to there so that way Infusionsoft and Access Ally have the most recent and updated information. Okay, it's just an example. Add to sequence too. Maybe they've done a couple of things and it's like, all right, let me just now they're ready to go to another sequence. You can add them on there, which is a newer feature too, which I really like too. It's really convenient because before you would have to apply a tag outside of the sequence that then puts them in another one, and I don't have to do that now. I can just add them to the sequence and be done, right? So it's a lot better for me. And move an opportunity, if they get to a certain point and I want to move them, right? That's what this is saying. And then action set, this is the legacy action sets. There's not a lot of use for this. They're trying to remove this, and that's why they call it legacy, but there's just a couple of things in there that are just still powerful that people still use. when it comes to that. It used to be cancel subscription was one of them. That was one of the things you can only do in Legacy. So there's just still a couple of things that you could keep it, you could use, but really I would have to say Keep has done a great job at just changing this and making it where you don't really need this anymore. They're adding the features in here. And then this is start if you want to have multiple triggers to like once they get in here, they could start in different places, and then notes are the same. All right, so I know I kind of talked through a lot, but this is important. I want you to see of all of the things you can do, right? You can have a tag that starts a purchase. That starts the sequence, and hey, they've opened an email. So once they've opened an email, I want them to come out of here. I want them to have go in another sequence that follows up with this person because this person is keeping up, right? They're actually speaking my language. Um, they've opened. I want to speak to them differently than someone who is in here and they don't do anything, which is about to go to decision diamonds, right? This is saying, so you're like, oh, what is this saying? I don't understand. So this is saying anyone that comes in here that opens an email, they'll get pulled out. They're not going to finish, right? Stops immediately. It says, hey, once they've opened an email, any emails, you can have 5 emails in here, and on the fourth, they don't open, and then the fourth, they do open, it's going to pull them out, and it's going to pull them into here. However, you have 5 emails, they don't open, they don't do anything, well, they're just going to go here. And then you can continue the conversation and have another conversation here. And then let's say, oh, well, they clicked in this one, so now that they've clicked, I want them to go back in here because now they're showing engagement. So do you understand how this can flow? Like this can really just, that's one of my favorite things. It's very targeted. And, with behavior based marketing nowadays, you have to be. Gone are the days where you can just do the simplest things. You just really have to give people a specific message based off of their behaviors. That's just going to have the greatest results. And that really does have the greatest results for me and my clients as well. So, like I mentioned, I am a Keap partner and I'm a Keap customer myself. And I'm actually looking to step up my automation game for myself. I've done it for clients for years, 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 and years. And now I get to do it for myself, which is exciting. But if you want to go ahead and you want to take a look at Infusionsoft, just kind of see at Keap and to see the differences between like the light, the max, and the different ones that may be interested to you, just go ahead and take a look. If you are interested, you're like, hey, I would love to get move forward and get Infusionsoft, get Keap, right? I found a plan that works for me. All you have to do is just let me know, so then I can go ahead and I will give you a complimentary 90-minute call. We'll go through what goals you have for Infusionsoft, the best way to get it done. It's just going to be 90 minutes of me. You get to pick at my brain, take all my years of experience with it so that I can help you, right? Because it makes no sense to buy a tool for any tool if you're not going to use it. It just makes no sense. But if you are going to use it, that's where you need to go ahead and just maximize it. So you could check it out below. They'll have some other things and they'll have special promotions for you. Just let me know once you decide to go ahead and use it. I hope this was really helpful. Thanks for watching. Take care.